Welcome and thank you for joining this session. In the previous tutorial, we created the finite element model representations for the syringe assembly. We will now make use of local mesh specifications on the stopper geometry to ensure that there is sufficient mesh refinement near highly curved boundaries. To proceed, switch to the Mesh Creation app. Unlike other apps, mesh creation is not accessed through the compass, but through the Structural Model Creation app. In the Structural Model Creation app, expand the model tree from the fixed area of the action bar to switch to the Mesh Creation app. This allows for easy switching between the Model Creation app and the Mesh Creation app to complete the model definition. Before we proceed, we will do some housekeeping so that only the geometry and mesh of the stopper is visible in the display area. Right-click in the display area to open the Visualization Management tool. Click More to access the Visualization Tree dialog box. This provides a simplified view of the feature tree. Hide the geometries of the barrel and the plunger and click Close. Next, open the Mesh Part Manager. The Mesh Part Manager displays all the mesh parts in a model and provides you with a quick reference on the mesh status and several basic mesh parameters. You can also use the manager to edit, delete, remove, update, or control the display of meshes. Use the manager to hide the display of the barrel and plunger mesh. Prior to refining the mesh, we are going to measure the dimensions of the curved surfaces of the stopper to use as a reference value. From the check section of the action bar, click the non-persistent measure item tool. The arrow pointer changes to the measure pointer. Select the edge of the surface to measure its properties. With the required reference dimensions on hand, edit the stopper mesh from the Mesh Part Manager. The Mesh Control dialog box for the octree tetrahedron mesh of the stopper comes up. Select Local Specifications to control the size and number of elements in specific regions of a mesh. Specify a local mesh size for the faces and give a value for the size and absolute sag. Click OK. Once you click OK, in the specification tree, a mesh specification set with local mesh size specification information appears. Create the mesh and then update the product. This brings us to the conclusion of this tutorial.